This feels weird. I don't know, I need to get used to this. Hey everybody. So today we're going to talk about why I'm starting a YouTube channel. I guess I've started this channel in order to produce food-based content. The UK is at a standstill at the moment. We're in our third lockdown, and as someone who's a recent graduate trying to find a job right now is extremely difficult. Opportunities are few and far between, and it's not getting any easier. Let's see if any students can relate to this. You start looking for a job. You first look for something that's within your field or within the scope of what you want to do. You click on entry level as a filter. You think to yourself, as someone who's just starting out, got very little experience, you think entry level is probably the right level for me. You apply to those ones on LinkedIn through Easy Apply, or if you really care about them, you'll put your time and effort, blood, sweat and tears into the whole process of reorganizing your CV to make for the specific job, and you want to make it look nice for the employer. So you work tirelessly on each application that you really care about. And then at the end of it, a lot of the time you get no reply because of the supposed high volume of applicants that they receive. They can't give personal feedback or they can't reply. So naturally you get disheartened, you lose confidence. You start to think about your self-esteem, whether you're actually worth enough applying for those jobs. You then find a job which you're perfect for. You've got almost all the necessary qualifications needed for the job. What does it say you need? Are you a problem solver? Yes. Are you creative? Yes. Are you a fast learner? Yes. Are you funny? Yes. Have you got brown hair? Yes. Have you got good style sense? Yes. So then you seem to be a perfect fit for the job, and you match all the criteria apart from one. 1 year's experience in the relevant industry. I mean, I've seen some entry-level jobs that says that they require at least 3 years experience, which is just puzzling to me. So you think to yourself, hold on a second. If I'm applying for an entry-level job and it requires experience, how am I meant to get experience in the first place? So you end up in an endless loop, right? Of finding a job, where you need experience, you have no experience, so you can't apply it, and then you go back to square one, right? You look for another job. So you've exhausted all the other options in the field. Expand and tell yourself, I like working for a telecommunications company, or a sales job, and so on, until you reach a point where you don't even recognize what you're applying for in the first place. And don't get me wrong, be open to new experiences, always look for something different, something new, something that's worthy of change. Note that it's not really getting any easier applying for loads and loads of jobs. You've applied for thousands and thousands and only getting a few responses until you've made a breakthrough. A company has responded saying, well done, you've made it to the next stage, an interview. You tell some of your friends that you got through to the next stage, they're happy for you, or your family, and they ask what for. You say it's a business-to-business consumer goods assistant executive job in sales for a tech company, right? And then they kind of look a bit puzzled because they're like, is that what you want to do? You think about it for a minute or two, and then you proceed to lie to yourself because you don't want to do it. And you say, yes, it's what I want to go into. It's not what I originally wanted to do, but I'll give it a go. Sound familiar? I'm not trying to come from a place where I'm not appreciative. I don't understand that sacrifices are necessary in order to get where you want. You can't always start off in your dream job. You can't always start in the exact role that you applied for. It takes hard work. It takes a couple of years before you get your foot in the door. By the way, if you want to do a job that sounds like the one I just mentioned, then fair enough, you're a better person than me. Personally, it was just something that just didn't sit right with me. So one day I was on a hike with a close friend of mine, back when we were allowed to, and he goes, what would be your dream job? So I thought about it. We both thought about our dream jobs for a while, and I didn't have any specific job in mind. I just knew what I wanted out of it. Number one, above anything else, had to be creative. I was totally unmotivated in applying for any big companies or a job that requires doing audits for people or getting a high salary, because that's not what was important to me. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to belittle anyone who went down that path. Shout out Tom and Hayden, you know. It just isn't for me. We're all wired differently. We all have different priorities. We all have different, I guess, objectives in life. Personally, creating something original was always appealing to me. The idea of a job that was always evolving and changing was an environment I think I would thrive in. Number 2, it had to be something that I was interested in. It had to. And cooking has always been a form of meditation for me throughout the years. It calms me, it helps me relax. As the late Anthony Bourdain said, when someone cooks for you, they are saying something. They're telling you about themselves, where they come from, what makes them happy. Certainly in my case, this is true. And last but not least, this isn't, I guess, essential, but being my own boss, I think. I know personally that I struggle with being told what to do, and I am working on it, you know. But the reason it is there is because I like the idea of freelance work, you know. You're on your own time, you're on your own schedule. You can pick up different people at different times. I get that this is a dream scenario, to be able to pick up and do when you want to work. And I understand it's a very privileged position to be in. When I was on Warzone with a close friend of mine, and we were just discussing how we wanted to do stuff that we really cared about. For him, it was music producing. For me, it was doing something food-based. And he casually says, "Why don't you start a YouTube channel?" I'd never really given it much thought, but he said it's a great way to produce some original content and just, you know, get your voice out there. So then the more I thought about it, the more excited I got. The more nights I became restless trying to think of new ideas as to how I can make specific content. And it was time to take action rather than waiting for a company to take a chance on me. You know, I wanted to make a change. I wanted to make a difference in some way that would help people. It was time I stopped waiting for it. It was time I started doing something about it. So what do I hope to achieve on this channel? I want to create content which is informative, entertaining, and worth your time. If any one of you genuinely feel that I've lost that in some way when I produce more content in the future, then please let me know by leaving a comment down below. Having just finished my degree studying international relations and Japanese, you learn about the world in a light that I guess is somewhat hidden from you when you grow up. It terrifies you and wanting to do something about it. Everyone has something that they truly care about, and everyone has something to say. A problem that I'm passionate about is the issue of food waste, something that will be talked more in depth in a future video. I hope to do my part, and if any future-based content has really inspired any of you to make positive change, then this channel's already started doing what it's meant to do. So what type of content can you expect? It's mainly going to be a cooking channel. This video is essentially just an introduction into why I've started one. You can expect anything from vintage cookbook reviews, twists on authentic food, twists on authentic Japanese food. I know there might be a bit of irony in putting a twist on authentic food, because then it doesn't become authentic. Videos on food waste and just general videos on my experiences with food. You know, what it was like working in the hospitality sector, or what I learned from the hospitality sector, what you can learn from the hospitality sector. So here we are, first video, first edit. It's not perfect. You know, I'm sure as I do more of these, it'll get better with time. You know, if I was aiming for perfection, this video would never be out. If you liked what I had to say, then drop it a like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you soon. Then please let me know by dropping a comment. Drop a comment below.